always going to be 100% and performing at our best because life is life. Sometimes we will get in a rut, sometimes we'll have an off week, sometimes we'll have an off couple of weeks, but it doesn't mean that your life is done, or it's not always such a bad thing. Hi, my name is Emmy. Thank you for coming back to my channel and thank you for watching this video. I'm sure you're probably familiar with what a rut is, or a funk, or an off week, or you're burnt out, or just feel like shit. But it is a period of time where you just have no motivation, you don't feel like doing anything, you are questioning yourself and what you are doing, how you're living your life, you don't feel good enough. The list goes on. But it is temporary. It's not your life. A bad week does not mean a bad life. A bad week can be an indicator for a unsolved issue that needs to be addressed. And sometimes it's things that we don't even realize, and it's things that we're doing or we're thinking about or we're questioning that maybe aren't for us. Maybe it's trying to tell us something. It's not always a bad thing. But this video is about becoming productive again, getting out of a rut, getting out of that spiral, and not letting yourself sink deeper than you already are. I think the first thing that you have to do in order to get out of this cycle is, of course, acknowledge that you're in a cycle and that you're in a rut or you're in a funk. You're not acting like yourself. You don't feel right. It's like someone else is controlling your body almost. My friend and I have been feeling this way lately, and I saw this quote the other day that I want to read to you. All stress is caused by wanting this moment to be something it's not. I inhale what is, I accept this time for whatever it has to show me. It's natural to think that when you are feeling down, you're feeling in a funk, that it's wrong and that you shouldn't be feeling like this and that you should be doing other things to get you to where you want to be in the future. It's so common, so natural to feel this way. Like, I feel this way every time I get into a rut. But you always have to remind yourself that this will pass and it's just temporary. And most of the time, the reason why we fall into these ruts is because of comparison, and because we are comparing our present life to the life that we want to have or the life that other people have, and how we are not there yet. And we just cause ourselves to fail to appreciate everything we have and fall into a rut of everything that we don't have, and feel like we're not doing enough and feel like we are not where we want to be yet. I always try to remember what it feels like to be in a rut, what it feels like to not have motivation to do anything, what it feels like to, know you need to be somewhere and not doing it, and what that feels like after. And I use that as motivation to not want to come back to this place, because I deserve more. I don't like how I feel. I don't like how my body feels. I don't like how uncertain I am, and I don't want to come back here. Like, this fucking sucks. The second step in getting out of a rut is identifying what caused you to be in this rut. And this is where it's going to take some time, because you're not just going to have the answers, because girl, you obviously don't know what is going on. Usually there are indicators when you are starting to spiral. Like, I know personally, my room is not done. I probably haven't showered. I feel like shit. I start eating like shit. I start skipping workouts. Like, there are always things that are going to kind of like let you know that something is off and you're starting to go down. When you're in a rut, that is probably the best time to start journaling, to start documenting how you feel, because that is where you're going to be able to uncover subconscious emotions that you didn't even realize you were feeling. But it's like, once you start writing, sometimes things just come out. Like, girl, sometimes it's like you get possessed or something. But journaling is like the best gateway to see why you are feeling this way, and 9 times out of 10, it's probably because of comparison. I know personally, like, that's what happened. But I swear, like, I wouldn't have known that I felt this way until I started writing it down and getting everything off my chest, because your journal is you talking to you. Nobody has access to that. At least nobody shouldn't. That is where you can let everything out and there will be no judgment because it's you talking to you. But after identifying what caused you to get in this rut, what caused you to start to feel down, it's crucial to know when you can begin to flip the perspective and flip your negative thinking into a open book. If you think I am lonely, I feel so lonely, you can flip that to think this is a opportunity to get to know myself more, because you're lonely, you're with yourself. You can take this time to get to know yourself. If you're comparing yourself a lot, you can change the perspective of comparison and I'm not good enough or my life is not like theirs to I will never be them. They will never be me. And I don't know how they really feel. I am comparing myself based on a photo on social media that has no indication of how they're feeling in real life, what they did to get there, what emotions they went to get there, because I promise you they probably were down at one point, and how they feel now, because they can look happy in a photo but maybe they aren't happy in real life. So learning to change the perspective on what you are feeling is going to allow you to view this rut, this funk, with a different viewpoint and not have such a negative judgment on yourself. The third step of getting out of a rut includes needing structure. Structure is our friend. Structure gives us a sense of control because we are planning out our time according to how we want to plan out our time. A couple days ago, I opened my laptop again and I didn't realize that I didn't even look at my planner for so long until I actually looked at my planner and I was like, wow, like I have not opened this in a while. Me not looking at my planner like how I was doing previously and seeing what I had to do every day and having a routine, those days that I was following my planner and my routine were my best days. And I noticed that when I was in this rut, I didn't have structure in my day, so I was kind of just doing whatever I felt like doing in my day. And that led to me just being on social media. There was no structure, there was no plan, and it just led to me being all over the place and trying to do everything at once. Time blocking your days for things that you want to learn, study, or do is gonna be your best friend. For example, you can say, on Mondays, it's gonna be finance day, and we're gonna learn about finances. On Tuesdays, it's gonna be work day or school day. Planning out your days in accordance to how you want to plan out your week is crucial, and I find it so beneficial to have one day of the week where you plan out your whole week, right? Like for me, it's Mondays I'm planning out my whole week, and Sundays are a me day. Like don't talk to me on Sunday. But I've come to realize like that as humans we need structure, because again, it gives us control, it gives us power. We have the power to do something or not. Also, it's less stressful because you know what you're gonna do in the day. You're not gonna be questioning if you have time to do this or you don't have time to do that. Like you planned out your day, you set out time blocks for specific things, and in doing so, of planning out your day, you should have a time block for yourself and what you want to do that day. But planning is crucial, and it's so good to start to get out of that spiral that you're going into, because let's be honest, like when we're going in that funk, we don't know what to do. We have a million things we want to do, but we don't know where to start. So planning out your days, having a to-do list is gonna help you so much to start to get out of that routine. Along with structure, it's important to prioritize your well-being as well. A couple days ago, I was feeling very sick and I thought I was getting sick. I thought I had the flu or COVID. I spent the whole day sleeping, and when I woke up, I felt brand new, and it turns out that all I needed was to rest. Listening to your body is crucial in maintaining a healthy life. So listen to your body and have grace. We always beat ourselves up when we're in a rut or when we're in a funk or when we're feeling a little down and we don't do anything because, you know, it feels like a day wasted. But have grace with yourself. If you need a day to just chill and to just not do anything because you've been, you know, grinding the past few days, give yourself a day. But know your limitations with grace as well, and have discipline. If I don't wake up at the time I want to wake up in the morning, I'm not going to beat myself up, but I'm still going to have the discipline to go through my morning routine and do that for myself. So you need to have a balance with grace and discipline and listening to your body, because if you put too much pressure on your body, if you put too much pressure on yourself, if you're too hard on yourself, you are going to crash. Trust me, I know. Being aware of my choices was one of the biggest things for me, just because I would catch myself upset and complaining about me not waking up in the morning or me not, you know, prioritizing my mornings. But looking back, I had to acknowledge my actions and my choices, because I chose to scroll on TikTok that morning instead of getting up, right? Nobody was holding my phone to my hand and forcing me to go on TikTok. That was all me. So in order to prioritize your well-being, so in the future you can reap the benefits, be aware of the choices you're making and take accountability. But finally, I just want to remind you that life is all ups and downs. Life is never going to be from point A to point B. We can't control outcomes. We can't control unexpected things happening to us, but we can control how we respond to them. So yeah, you might be in a rut again in the future, or you might not. Familiarizing yourself with what happens, what you feel, what you do to get out of it is most likely going to not have spirals or ruts or funks happen so often and not as intense, because you learn something every time you get in a rut, right? You learn something about yourself, you learn a new feeling, you learn a new emotion, you learn, you know, I don't want to go back there. You do get something out of it. Let yourself feel it. Let yourself go through the process. Let yourself change your perspective on what is happening, right? It's happening for a reason. Something is causing you to feel this way. Let yourself feel it. Walk yourself through it. Have grace, but be disciplined. And also remember that this is life. Life is, again, never going to be from point A to point B. Remind yourself that this is temporary, it will pass, and you're not going to be the same person you were before you got into this rut. There is going to be some growth in you, whether you realize it or not. So with all of this being said, thank you for watching this video. I love you, and I will see you in the next one.